There's something strange about human desire. The more available something is, the less people value it. The more rare, the more it becomes a craving. And this truth is nowhere clearer than in relationships. When you are too eager, too present, too willing to give without pause, you blend into the background. But when you master detachment, not coldness, not cruelty, but genuine emotional self-control, you become unforgettable. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology confirmed it. They taught that the key to freedom is not needing what you cannot control. And when you apply this to love and attraction, it creates a paradox that works in your favor. By not clinging, you create space. By not needing, you create value. By detaching, you create an energy that others can't stop thinking about. Imagine two men in her life. One checks on her every hour, reacts to every shift in her mood, panics if she takes too long to respond. He thinks this devotion proves love, but all it does is show dependence. She feels smothered, not cherished. Then there's the other man. He's calm, present when needed, but never desperate. If she pulls away, he doesn't chase. He lets her breathe. If she tests him, he doesn't react. He stands firm. His life is full, with purpose, with discipline, with meaning, and she knows she isn't the center of his universe. That very independence is what makes her want to be a part of it. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you refuse to let caring turn into weakness. It means you can love someone without losing yourself. And when you reach that level of strength, people sense it immediately. They realize they can't control you with silence. They can't manipulate you with attention. They can't trap you with fear of loss. You're free, and freedom is irresistible. This is why detachment turns you into the obsession they can't replace. Because while others depend on her reactions for their sense of worth, you stand unshaken. You are not another option. You are the standard. She can scroll through endless faces, endless words, endless attention, but none of them carry the weight of a man who could walk away without hesitation, yet chooses to stay. That choice, that balance of care and freedom, makes you unforgettable. And long after the others fade into noise, your silence, your calmness, your discipline will echo in her mind. That's not arrogance, it's presence. And presence, grounded in Stoic detachment, is the rarest thing of all. Most people don't realize this, but attachment often creates the very outcome we fear. When you cling too tightly, you suffocate what could have naturally grown. When you make someone the sole source of your happiness, you hand them the power to destroy it. And the irony is, the more you chase reassurance, the more they pull away. Desire without control becomes desperation, and desperation always kills attraction. The Stoics would say, focus only on what's within your control. Can you control whether someone chooses you, loves you, or stays? Number. What you can control is how you show up, your actions, your discipline, your values. When you live this way, detachment becomes natural. You stop tying your peace to someone else's presence. And because of that, you stand out. Detachment is not a strategy, it's a transformation. When you embody it, you no longer need to constantly check your phone. You no longer spiral when they don't respond. You no longer argue just to prove a point. You carry yourself with a calm certainty because you know your worth doesn't shrink when someone withdraws. That inner calm is rare, and rare things attract attention. Now picture this. She's surrounded by men who throw their energy at her endlessly, competing for her time, her validation, her approval. Then she sees you, unmoved, unbothered, not because you're cold, but because you're whole. She realizes she can't easily predict you, can't easily sway you, can't easily control you. And that mystery, that independence, becomes addictive. She starts to wonder about you when you're not around. She replays your silence, your calm replies, your presence. Detachment plants you in her mind because you're the one person who didn't collapse under the weight of wanting her. This is the paradox. The more you let go, the more they hold on. The less you need, the more they want to give. The less you chase, the more they come closer. Not because you manipulated them, but because you became untouchable in a world full of dependency. Detachment doesn't just make you stronger, it makes you unforgettable. And when you reach that level, you no longer fear losing anyone. Why? Because you've already won the one battle that matters, the battle over yourself. Let's get one thing clear. Detachment is not indifference. It's not about pretending you don't care. It's about caring wisely, without giving away your power. Most people mistake neediness for love and intensity for passion, but real attraction comes from presence, from depth, from the ability to remain composed no matter the situation. When you care without being desperate, you become magnetic. The Stoics taught that you cannot control external events, only your reactions. Apply this to relationships. You can't control her feelings, her decisions, or the options she has, but you can control how you respond, how you carry yourself, and how you preserve your inner peace. When you master this, you create the type of energy that draws people in rather than pushes them away. You are no longer chasing, you are embodying. Consider this. Men who constantly seek validation often vanish from memory once attention is no longer reciprocated. But the man who is calm, composed, and unshakable leaves a lasting impression. His silence, his patience, his sense of self, all work together to create fascination. She can't replace him because he doesn't exist in abundance. He exists as a singular presence. Someone who doesn't need to compete, yet stands undeniably strong. And here's the subtle power. Detachment turns absence into curiosity. When you aren't always present, when you live your life fully outside of her orbit, she notices. She starts to think about you without realizing it. The energy you radiate, the strength of self-control, the discipline of living by your principles, becomes something she craves. Not because you forced it, but because you embody a standard no one else can match. This is the ultimate Stoic secret to attraction. Do not bend yourself to be wanted. Instead, bend your energy into self-mastery, into building a life that cannot be shaken by someone else's choices. When you do this, people, especially those who thought they had all the options, begin to see you as the one choice they cannot live without. Detachment doesn't make you cold, it makes you unforgettable. And in the end, that is the difference between being just another option in a crowded room and being the one presence that lingers, the one energy that resonates, the one man who cannot be replaced. At this point, it should be clear. The key to becoming unforgettable is not in chasing, not in competing, and not in bending to someone else's desires. The key is mastery over yourself. Detachment is not apathy, it's strength. It's the ability to care without losing yourself. It's the freedom to love without needing. And in that freedom lies your power. When you embody this, you stop being just another option. You become the standard, the presence that cannot be replaced, the calm in the chaos of attention-seeking men. Your energy, your discipline, and your self-respect become magnetic forces that draw people in, not through manipulation, but through authenticity and strength. Remember, the Stoics taught us that our worth is determined not by external validation, but by our own principles and actions. Apply this to relationships. Focus on what you can control, your growth, your calmness, your values. Let the rest fall where it may. Detachment creates a paradox. The less you try to hold on to someone, the more they are drawn to you. The less you chase, the more they think of you. The less you depend, the more unforgettable you become. So step into your life fully. Build your purpose. Cultivate your discipline. Strengthen your mind, body, and character. When you do, you won't just turn heads, you'll turn hearts. And the one who truly matters will not just choose you, they'll want to stay, because what you represent cannot be found anywhere else. Detachment is not loss, it is power, and power, when wielded wisely, makes you unforgettable.